All right, I made the tournament and I never posted about it. So here it is. Pantheoner Season 6. We're going to go over how I did on it and how the rest of the players performed. So we're going to be looking at my first game in this tournament that I set up. And we're just going to commentate through it. The first battle, me, a 600 level player at the time versus a 200 level player. And I guess I started taking the Appian Way. A lot of extra turns in this game, but it's going to end up being 3-1. So with me only having one, I go first. So first player has some advantage, even with the expansions. I'm finding out, at least with the Pantheon expansion. Okay, and then I take the press and one yellow card. Geronimo, my opponent, has one yellow card, clay reserve versus my stone reserve. Geronimo puts the divinity, a Phoenician divinity, close to myself. So maybe that's Astarte. Maybe they're thinking that I need 7 coins. It's always an interesting choice. Okay. And then Geronimo. Oh no, I placed a Phoenician close to myself, and then Geronimo placed a Phoenician close to themselves. I'm sorry. I take a tavern for free, and then my opponent quickly builds Piraeus to take a face down card potentially. I guess they just wanted to make sure Piraeus got built a little early. So you see that a lot from the 200 level players. They'll take the Great Lighthouse, they'll take Piraeus, and try to make everything cost nothing for them because maybe the thought is if everything's free, then you win the game. But that's not true. All right, so they hide the Appian Way from me, or they hide a science in the Appian Way. Whenever I'm playing against a 200 level player, I'm usually doing a yellow green strategy because they're going for all the resources. And as you see here, they've got a good handle on stone and clay, and all their the rest of the resources are covered with those two Piraeus and Great Lighthouse already built. A lot of times, a lower level player might take have a lot of fear in their heart for Divine Theater, thinking that my Divine Theater right here will steal one of their wonders. Um, and I don't think my plan is to steal a wonder. I will do it if the gate is there. So I use next turn so that I can start the next stage. But I'm really trying to get to 6 science, and if I use the Divine Theater, oh, do I use the Divine Theater to steal? I think I do. Well, yeah, I took it to Egyptian so that I could take an extra turn. Hanging Gardens is just it's like the third best wonder in um in the expansion for Pantheon. So yeah, I'd say Hanging Gardens is the way to be. So I have the top one, two, three right there, and they've got Piraeus, the fourth best, still helping them. I put Tannic close to myself, so now I have a bunch of coins. And the problem with doing what I did with Hanging Gardens that I wouldn't do now is um, I now can't use the Divine Theater to get a science from it. So that is unfortunate. But I used Anubis to be able to get my Divine Theater back. I had to use the gate to do that. Yes, okay, so what I did is I made sure to put Anubis back on the top. So that's why I did it. I used the Divine Theater so that I could steal a wonder and then put Anubis on the top because I knew I'd have enough coins to take that. So that's a nice move, I guess, by myself. But this is just going to end up being a science blowout, I imagine. Oh no, I end up seeing that I could just win in military. If I see two shields out there, I'll take one, and if the opponent doesn't take the other, I'll take another shield. So watch me. I'm gonna grab another shield, double shield. Oh no, looks like I discarded the courthouse for some coins. Interesting. Okay, so a lot of the lower level players will just have a bunch of resources and then take a bunch of blue cards, and they'll have like a 20-point lead on me, and pushing me into one of the two strategies of military or science. I see that there's only 3 of 6 science symbols out there, so I'm afraid that H3 won't have one of the two symbols at all. So I need to start thinking about going a military strategy here, um, and not leaving it up to chance. And the good news is I have 2 military wonders, So right there, that I can use for that. So not a huge fear. I think doing military would be good. I'm using a Minerva offensively, so if they do push in military, um, I have that, like, you can't pass the Minerva pawn. But I'm grabbing every single military that I can. I have one extra turn left. I think that's why I stole Hanging Gardens also, was because I was thinking, hey, I want to have at least one extra turn. So I need it from you. I need to steal it from you. Okay. So I do see both science cards out there, so it is now possible to just end the game with science. No need to risk it with military. But I guess I end up not caring and just say, let's just do the military. So yeah, I grab the military and then I build Mars with with Divine Theater and win the game. All right, so got to build Divine Theater twice, and so there is the first game, a military victory. Next up, we are going to be looking at my next game, where I started, and I guess we're looking at it from the point of view of Tom Thumb Blues. Okay, so yeah, so we'll go to the end of the game. Tom Thumb Blues is on the bottom, um, and I started, so I'm at the top. So I end up getting 3 extra turns. They only end up getting 1 extra turn. This was a very interesting battle here. My very first turn, I say, I don't care about resources. I'm grabbing the science. And so, yeah, I'm racing to 6 science. I have 3 extra turns, which basically can turn into science cards. So now I'm at 4 science symbols projected. Now I just need to find a way to get 2 more. Uh, yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. And yeah, I'm thinking maybe the gods will allow me a chance to get another science symbol. That's 5. And then law right there, that could be 6. So some potentials there. I maybe if Hades is one of these, but I end up putting both Greek gods close to my opponent. So I don't remember what they were, but I'm guessing that neither one is Hades. Tom Thumb Blues reveals a bunch of cards only to place an Egyptian one close to myself. They probably put the Isis, not a very good one, Isis. I end up taking the Tavern, and I only have 2 cards, a green and a yellow, and then I'm taking another green. So I'm really locked into this green strategy, but I'm playing against a 500 level, so it's hard to just rely on a yellow green, what I call the noob beatdown strategy. It's hard to do that against a higher level player because they know what they're doing. And now remember, I have 3 extra turns, so it that could transform into going first in the next stage, could transform into getting 3 more science symbols. 1, 2, 3 for each extra turn. And then I get a 3rd science symbol. So whenever you're at 3 science symbols at the end of age 1, you're very dangerous to win in science. So Tom Thumb Blues needs to find a way to block me from doing that. I end up just discarding a bunch of coins to try to get yeah, here I should have grabbed the gate. I I think I grabbed the gate thinking that it was very expensive, but I thought I could steal the Temple of Artemis. Instead, I ended up just getting my Hanging Gardens back. So it's now back to 3 extra turns to 1. There was nothing good on the very bottom of age 2 as far as a science symbol or anything. Made my opponent reveal. The coins are 7 coins to 6. Finally, my opponent gets 1 science symbol. So this is going to come down to points probably for science. Like it's a green versus blue game. Nobody's really touching military. If he pokes me 1 time in military, I have a science advantage. I'll go first in the next stage and possibly take a science card from doing that. Ooh, now Tom Thumb takes from the discard pile here. We can look at the discard. So interesting, he takes a brown resource, making it so it's very difficult for me to get clay. And the one resource that I do need is clay right here, the dispensary. So that's going to be very costly. Also, I have a lot of my wonders use clay. So basically all my wonders are very expensive right now. And then Tom Thumb uses Zeus to get rid of the aqueduct. Oh no, he just discards the aqueduct. There's no Zeus, sorry. Yeah, no. Did I use Zeus? Yeah, I guess I used Zeus. I'm kind of running through this fast, but I use Zeus to put the archery range in the discard pile. Now, Tom Thumb is not wanting to let me crush any of his coins with the Minerva Pawn. I use Ices to take an extra turn. I think this is my big blunder right here. I end up, sure, I took the extra turn, but then I had to take another card, allowing my opponent to get a science. And then I was all just super offset. I end up needing to use I ended up offsetting the pyramid in a bad way when I did that, allowing my opponent to then take the one science card that I needed to win. Now, that did allow me to go first in the next stage, so I was thinking, okay, no problem, I'll get law somehow. My opponent's at 4, so it ends up being a kind of a science victory potential and points victory potential, and I have nothing except for the ability to get a bunch of coins when I discard. And there's no science in this age. So if there was one science at the bottom of age 3, then I would be at a little bit of an advantage, but nothing real here. And now I'm getting pushed in military. And then it starts to get really dicey here. So I pushed back a little bit in military, but it's 10 points me, 14 points them, plus they have the bonus 7 or 5 points from a Grand Temple, the Greek Grand Temple. I have a little bit of a coin advantage, but I'm losing in military. So it's looking like if it did come down to points, still just like we projected, it would be me losing. Now I do use an extra turn to try to take control of. Wow, I just used a bunch of extra turns, just one after the other, to try to just take a point lead. And then my opponent pushes probably in military using Mausoleum. I think I realized that it might just come down to points, and so I needed to just. There's only 3 cards left, so just rush it. And then I never built my last wonder. My opponent gets 4 bonus points for building Lighthouse. I grab a science card. It's just not enough to be able to get science win. I end up grabbing a blue card instead of the science card. I could have gotten 3 extra points for the science card, but yeah, ended up making sense to leave that for my opponent. But I ended up getting it anyways, and the points are at about 35 to 33, but then my opponent takes that last 5-point card, and I think the points were maybe fairly close at the end. I had 2 or 4 points from Astarte. I forgot to figure those into it. But yeah, that military 5 points at the end really crushed me. So I was out in my second game. I was done from there. Later on in the tournament, Tom Thumb Blues fights against Brandon from Cape Town. Now, Brandon from Cape Town, they actually I don't know much about them, but they're a 400 level player, and let's see how they do. So they chose to not have any extra turns. They went with Divine Theater, and they had a rough spot, not getting any extra turns. But that's sometimes the decision you make in choosing the wonders. They had an opportunity to get an extra turn, but just because they took the Divine Theater, they didn't get it. That's a common thing. All right, so it ends up being Tom Thumb Blues is going to get a bunch of yellow. Brandon from Cape Town going it a little bit of science, putting an Egyptian kind of in a weird spot. Maybe they're wanting to make sure the gate's close to themselves, but it opens it up for the opponent to put some terrible one close to them. Tom Thumb Blues really getting a lot of yellow, so doing really well there. Yeah, all the reserves, actually every yellow card taken by Tom Thumb Blues. All Brandon has is green cards. So, and not even 3 green cards yet. So when they get to 3 green cards, it will be scary. But I'd say Tom Thumb Blues for sure has a huge advantage here. 2 science is a little scary, but manageable in age 1. It's 3 science that you have to worry about. Someone's got 3 science in age 1. All right, so Tom Thumb Blues uses a single extra turn, so that securing that they will go first in the next age because their opponent has no extra turns. Unless Brandon from Cape Town somehow pulls off something weird. There is a way to change that. That would be Divine Theater plus Zeus. Anyways, that's a weird thing. We'll go into age 2 with Tom Thumb Blues having 14 coins and 4 points, and Brandon from Cape Town 12 coins to 2. At the bottom of age 2 is a brewery. That's a very good card to get. But also, everybody has enough coins to afford all the gods, and only Brandon from Cape Town knows what is the contents of the gate. Brandon's going to take it. Do they know that Zeus is not, or Ra is there? Oh my gosh, so they knew that Ra was there. That's some high level play. Okay, so they put Isis close to themselves? What? Brandon from Cape Town. You put Isis close to yourself, made yourself look like you're not really good at the game because nobody puts Isis close to themselves. And especially if they had an option for Ra, made it look like you didn't have an option for Ra. But then with the gate, wow, close by. You know what? I would have put Isis close to my opponent, but anyways, so with that, they were able to steal an extra turn, and now they're dangerous. Somebody going science, having 1 extra turn, even 1 extra turn, is pretty dangerous. Also, Brandon could use the Divine Theater to pull off some science strategy. So that could be very possible. Let's see here. Using Isis. How are you going to use Isis? Maybe that's Brandon from Cape Town's strategy is go low resources, put Isis close to yourself so that it's very easy to afford whatever you want. Only 4 coins to be able to afford a wonder, and then pay your most expensive wonder. Statue of Zeus generally can be pretty expensive and good to build early, so you get rid of their brown card. What brown card did they discard? I didn't even catch that. Was it... I don't know. Anyways, let's keep paying attention here. Tom Thumb Blues. Wow, when you're at 5 yellow cards, you're pretty dangerous. We see a little bit of a push back from Tom Thumb Blues in the military, but that puts them in a bad situation. Now they're just barely winning in military, and that is not what you want to be. So Tom Thumb Blues messing up, maybe, taking that military card. Maybe they should have not given up initiative in H3, so they won't go first in H3. Tom Thumb Blues taking yet another yellow card. Brandon from Cape Town with nothing as far as clay, but maybe that's their strategy. They don't care about clay. That's making their Colossus cost 9, but they don't care. Yeah, 3 for each brick. Let's look at the bottom of age 3. Tom Thumb Blues starting age 3 with 34 coins, and at the bottom of age 3 was a 2 shielder. Tom Thumb Blues going to push that 2 shield. They have 1 extra turn with Sphinx, and then Brandon from Cape Town could rush the rest of their wonders. They only have Colossus, Divine Theater, and Pyramids left to build. Only. That's actually a lot. But the thing is it okay, so Tom Thumb Blues is going to use that extra turn to just build a science card. Okay, that the dangerous part of building a science card is now they can use the Divine Theater to copy that science card. But I guess they could have used Hades either way. So building it doesn't really change it. I guess you make them use the Divine Theater to access it. At this point, Brandon from Cape Town has won the game. So Brandon's going to win in a science victory because when they get this last science card, Tom Thumb Blues has to take this one. Brandon gets their fourth science, and then they can use Divine Theater to get the fifth, the sixth science. Sorry. So, yep. Although Tom Thumb does get a little bit of a military push. Oh wait, interesting. They don't have the science that they need. Oh, they're gonna take from the discard pile. I thought that they didn't need to use Hades, so they're gonna need to use Hades with Divine Theater. They're gonna do that. Take that last science card that they need, or law. Actually, just take law. That'll do it. Wow. So Brandon from Cape Town does win that one, and very close to losing in military at very end. So Tom Thumb Blues ended with 41 coins. So just because you have a bunch of yellow cards doesn't mean you're going to win the game, but yellow cards are very strong. So with that, the guy who beat me got knocked out of the tournament. And now let's look at this player, Emil Chesky. They were in the finals for the last Pantheoner. So looking at Emil Chesky at the bottom, they're going to take the Great Library, and they're going to take Pyramids. So no extra turns in that first draft. Then Emil's going to take the Temple of Artemis and Sanctuary. Zini chose to take the Divine Theater and Colossus. Okay. So always funny how that works. But yeah, so Emil went first. Oh, they grabbed the Wood Reserve. That's going to be a really good one to possibly synergy with Great Library. There's a cool strategy you can do building Great Library early in Age 1. And you can maybe get strategy from it. And then those Age 1 red cards become extremely useful. Especially if you're playing against an opponent with no military wonders. However, Pizzini has 3 military wonders. Well, yeah, 2, but Divine Theater I count as a military wonder, so 3. But yeah, generally you discard all the red cards and the blue cards. See, they're doing that. These are high level players. What do we got? Pizzini's a 300. Milchesky's a 400. I'm currently a 500. I was a 600. Just losing this tournament and losing some other things after that brought me down. But all right. Wow, Emil Chesky very much values the best card of Age 1 and is willing to spend an extra turn to do it. And also they realize that as long as they spend one single extra turn, they will go first in the next stage unless Mazzini uses the Zeus trick with Divine Theater. That was the weirdest thing ever. So Mazzini used Divine Theater to use Nisaba to copy a science symbol. Seems rather odd. Kind of an odd move. It's like the wrong timing. Maybe they were afraid that they were going to lose the Divine Theater anyways, because Emil Chesky put an Egyptian one close to themselves. So they said, well, I like to play for a science win, and I have the military to protect me, so I'm just going to hope and pray that I get the science that I need. And I've got Ishtar right there. Milchesky probably wants to deny Ishtar. I think they just spend the coins right now. Oh no, they know that Pizzini can't afford Ishtar, so they're going to hold off on that. Pizzini discards a science, says if you can't get it, Or if I can't get it, you can't get it. Milchesky now realizes Bassini has the coins to take Ishtar, builds Ishtar. Makes sense. Emil Chesky going to hide the laboratory under the sanctuary using their very last extra turn just so that they can get a progress token of theology. That's a good one. Now they have 2 more extra turns. They turned 1 extra turn into 2 extra turns, but that'll be the end of their wonders. No, they actually have Anubis available. So, okay, the Great Library gets built. Are they going to take strategy? Wow, the theology plus strategy combo. Very good. Well, since you got Anubis, you don't necessarily need to make a Temple of Artemis get brought back. You could bring back Great Library and have an extra turn plus another progress token. What do they choose, though? Yeah, they chose it. Wow, I love that move. Well done, Emil Chesky. That is exciting. Okay, so they're looking very dangerous, and they are even grabbing Aphrodite just for fun. So I think just securing their win. They're saying, all right, it's going to end up, I'm going to win in points or military or science. No, they're not going to win in science. They're going to red blue. That's how it usually is, everybody. So there's 3 ways Pantheon expansion can go: red blue versus red blue, a race for green, both players doing green, and then a mixed. So one player's doing green, one player's doing red blue, and that's how it always goes. And different sub strategies within that, but that's I've played it so many times. I can tell you, there's 3 different ways. You got to set your mind. All right, how is this game going? And yeah, right now it's looking like Milchesky's a red blue, and Pizzini's playing. I mean, is science possible? Is really how you decide if they go green. Science is not possible, so it's looking like you need to switch to that red blue. So blue for the points and red for the flavor. If you think it's possible to pull a military off, but even if it's not, you could cause yourself to get more points by doing the red blue, by adding some red cards in there. Milchesky starting off H3 with 12 coins and then now jumped up 7 points. Now they're at 8 points. Pizzini going to push forward in military, and Pizzini's got their shield of Minerva. Milchesky has strategy. It's probably going to help him. All right. Milchesky, full of coins, not a dangerous player. Let's see. And their second Grand Temple. If they get a third Grand Temple, it's game over. That's a 21 points. Yeah, the Seven Wonders dual game was never meant for 3 cards to give you 21 points. That's just insane. So, yeah. So Emil Chesky gonna push. When you have that many points, it's just game over for unless somebody can pull off an alternate win. And so that's what it's happening now. Is it's within this red blue versus red blue. One player ends up being the red. The other one player kind of goes more blue. But you have to still play red to defend against the red. So Emil Chesky pushes up 2, actually pushes up 3 because they have the strategy. And now they're back to neutral. They've really only lost 2 coins in the military struggle. They've kept from losing their 5 coin. They're at 38 points. Pizzini just playing the red part of that red-blue because they were just so far behind in points. And it's just going to be ending with a point victory, a very high amount of points from Emil Chesky at the end of the game. This could be record breaking. So we already know Emil Chesky's going to win, but by how many points is this? This is going to be insane. Will this be their highest point game of the entire series? Let's see. So 63 after all the plus 21 points. He adds some more points from coins, and Emil Chesky's at 68 points. I mean, I saw pyramids, I saw Aphrodite, I saw a lot of things that were helping in points, but 68 is not like amazing. Like I don't think I've seen something at 90 points, but think I've seen 80s. All right, so we'll see if they ever get higher than that. But now Emil Chesky versus Clit Westwood. This will be great. So Emil Chesky taking Temple of Artemis, Clit Westwood taking Sanctuary and the Great Library. Emil Chesky has one extra turn, and Clit Westwood has Piraeus. Oh, and Sanctuary, so 2 extra turns. I think Clit Westwood has the worst extra turn, Sanctuary. I think that's just such a tough one to use. If you're a first player, I think having Sanctuary, I think about this, maybe be good to grab 2 stone or something, you know, maybe even grab a gray resource, because Sanctuary allows you to make potentially 5 or 6 different god cards cost 2 less, so you could get, you know, a discount of 10 coins or 12 coins. That's where you're starting to compete with Temple of Artemis. But nah, I'm thinking I'd rather 12 coins. So Temple of Artemis is better. Just give me the straight 12 coins. And you don't want to even build your wonder that early. So Sanctuary forcing you to build your wonder early so that you can use its ability. I end up just using the extra turn to get no discounts. Sanctuary is the worst. I used to think Sphinx was the worst, but sometimes you need those 6 points. And if I had a choice between 6 points or maybe 2, 4, or maybe 6 coins, I'd probably choose the 6 points. Sure. All right, Clit Westwood finally getting a yellow card. I'm sorry, I haven't really been following this. I've been talking theory. Clit Westwood taking a blue. Interesting choice. Emil Chesky using their very last extra turn to go first in the next age. We saw no Egyptian gods during that, or nobody knows what's at the top of the gate. There was no Egyptian tokens out there. So potentially Emil Chesky just discards and then risks it for the biscuit to try to build the gate. Okay, so they do a quick push on the Tanit, an 8 coin cost Tanit. Spread grabbed it right over the table and said, yoink, I want that one. So got the 12 coins from Temple of Artemis, got another 12 coins from Tanit, but spent 8 coins and spent I don't know how many coins on Temple of Artemis. Clit Westwood taking the gate, obviously didn't see a Steal a Wonder, so this will be interesting. So Clit Westwood with 2 extra turns versus Emil Chesky with none. Emil just going to be pushing in military, and we'll see how that goes. So Emil somehow finagles a way to get 3, gets 3 science. Clit Westwood has 2 because of Ishtar. That gate didn't produce raw, so they just grabbed Ishtar. Clit Westwood getting their 3rd science symbol. So it's 3 versus 3. This is a green versus green, but Emil likes to put a little bit of red in their green. They've done this before. I've seen Emil Chesky is not afraid to put some red in there, especially when they have some military wonders. And they have 2 so far. So I talk about military wonders being useful to protect yourself if you're going science, but they could also be used to really put some pressure on your opponent. Emil Chesky gonna take Hades and use Hades to get some more military push. Yeah, be careful. If you discard a 2 shield, your opponent may try to take that 2 shield if they have Mausoleum or access to Hades. All right. Emil Chesky has plenty of yellow cards now. Getting the Caravanserai is going to help them with affording wood, which will be important if they keep going science. Okay. Emil Chesky going to take law. Yeah. So once again taking Aphrodite. I've always wondered that. Like going for Aphrodite twice now. I don't really value Aphrodite very highly, but I guess they're trying to stall so that they can okay, they used Colossus to push Clint Westwood now grabbed the only yellow cards Clint Westwood has grabbed are the two favorite ones, the brewery and the tavern. They have enough coins to build the rest of their wonders. Emil Chesky realizes that, so they're pushing. They build the Circus Maximus. Did they take out a gray card? Did the opponent even have a gray card? Okay. Emil Chesky going to, or Clint Westwood starts, obviously. They're losing in military. They're 3 shields away from losing. Emil Chesky builds the pyramids to secure a points win if it's going to come down to a points win. And Clint Westwood has 1 extra turn left. Clint Westwood needs 1 more science to win. Emil Chesky needs 2, and they're winning in military by a lot. 3 more shields, they would win it. They just got their 2nd shield. Clint Westwood now is forced to use their extra turn. Ooh. But are they going to build the military? They don't have the coins for the or they do have the coins. Okay, that was the 8 coin Praetorium. That having that as 8 coins in age 3 is very important. But allowing Emil Chesky to take what was under the Praetorium, a science. Now both players are neck and neck in science, and the way the cards are situated, it's favoring Emil Chesky. No, it isn't. It's actually favoring Clint Westwood. Clint Westwood's going to reveal a card. It wasn't the right one. Or get a card revealed to them. It wasn't the right one. Now it's favoring Emil Chesky. Okay. Yeah, so the last 3 cards Emil Chesky will have dibs on. Yep, comes down to science. Wow. So didn't need to come down to points. Oh wait. Oh, that wasn't the science they needed. It just gave them a progress token. They grabbed masonry just for the fun of it. They have so many points that already it doesn't matter. Okay, and then the final 2 were revealed, and Emil Chesky takes it. That's how it goes a lot of times. There's 3 unrevealed at the end, and 1 player gets to look at all 3. So very crazy. I'm sorry, Clint Westwood, but you got demoted there. But still a very good player. All right, so then Nurud versus Emil Chesky. Nurud, player that when I've played them, I have felt powerless. Nurud's a very good player. They're a 500 level player in this game, and Emil Chesky is a 400 level player. So this is the big boss right here, Nurud. But also Clint Westwood is a very, very good player as well. So, Emil Chesky going to take a yellow card. Nurud going to take the clay. And then okay, Nurud wants to put a military close to themselves. That's interesting. Okay, and then they put a wood. They give themselves a wood. Emil Chesky taking that science. So they're 1 science now. All right, all 3 brown are secured by Nurud. That's kind of a goal that you have for H1 is I want to secure 3 brown in some way, either through a yellow reserve or through the raw resource, the brown. And then let's see. All right, so Emil Chesky gonna take another clay. I mean, their opponent has the clay reserve, so the only way they're gonna get clay is from actual resources, and they have 2 wonders that really need a lot of clay. Let's see. So, wow. So Nurud going to build the Divine Theater. Guess they wanted to steal a wonder. Yeah. They end up taking the Temple of Artemis. Age 1 steal. Happens sometimes. Sometimes it's necessary. We're at 2 extra turns versus 2 extra turns. 1 wonder spent by Nurud. Nurud's good on all of the resources that I value, the brown ones. Emil Chesky is good on the gray resources and the just missing the best resource, wood. And none of their wonders need wood now. Nerud alleviated that. Alright, ooh, a bad flip for Emil Chesky. Nerud gets 6 coins. Um, yeah, it's looking like a very tough game here. So Nerud is going to, he got a -2 offering token, not bad. Emil Chesky discarding the courthouse for 4 coins. Nerud gets the drying room for free. Emil Chesky now at 4 science symbols with the construction of the dispensary. Then Neptune is taken by Nerud. What are they going to do? So they're going to use Neptune correctly, get rid of their own military pawns before Emil has even tried to push in military. Emil does have Colossus, so that could be important. Nerud gonna discard the brickyard for some coins. It's a commonly discarded one. No way needs 2 brick. Then Emil going to maybe take Theology so they can get an extra turn from Colossus, or no, they don't want to do that. They wanted to get some coins with Urbanism. Interesting choice. All right. Yeah, not even taking strategy. Maybe they're thinking, well, you've already used Neptune to make it tougher. Oh wait, they somehow are able to pull off Theology. How are they getting Theology? Yeah, I guess they got the science symbol they needed for Theology. So boom, then boom, got Theology. So now Colossus will be an extra turn for them. So they have 2 extra turns, but the fear is their last wonder might not be able to be built. Interesting. Nerud's first wonder they chose was Mausoleum, and their picture they have for themselves is a picture of the mausoleum. So I find that funny. All right, so we are moving into, let's see, is this going to be it's basically a red-blue, mainly blue with Nerud versus green with the Milchesky. And Emil just needs 2 extra turns and they can, or two science, and they can get that with their 2 extra turns. So Nerud has similar amount of points to Emil Chesky. It looks like it was just a tough situation with Nerud not being able to grab any science symbols. I think a lot of times they were flipped open to Emil. I mean, yeah, just gave away 2 progress tokens. Nerud did. And now Nerud's going to really start pushing to get some points. Emil doing the same, but we see 2 science symbols out there. One more can be secured by a player, by Emil, then that other one could be taken. Alright, Nerud going to be pushing back with the Statue of Zeus. Now the fear is that Emil does not build both of their wonders right now. They're not going to be able to get it. Ooh, they don't need to build their wonders. They just grabbed the science they needed. But Nerud saved their extra turn so that they could do this. They're going to bury that science card, the last science card that Emil needed, making it so that Emil will only be able to get 1 science, but not to both. So Emil's stuck at 5 symbols. They will not be getting their 6th symbol this game. So now it really comes down to points. Nerud, such a great player. So denying the science right there, having 2 Grand Temples, but Emil having 5 points from Astarte, and Emil taking Enki and grabbing economy close to the end. Maybe that was to offset some things, but also maximize the points from economy. Nerud going to discard the workshop for some coins. Maybe they need some coins. They don't think that military points are going to help them much. Points were tied. Now Nerud's at 42, Emil Chesky at 37. Don't forget Nerud has their bonuses of Grand Temples, and Emil Chesky still has 5 coins of Astarte and was winning in military. Now Nerud blocked that off with a 2 military grab. Alright, Emil uses Colossus, some 3 points plus 2 moves in the shields, and gives them the last card for a jump of 3, 4, 5, plus that last card, maybe, say 3 more points. So, say that was an 8-point turn. Did they win by 8 points? They won by even less than 8 points. So, yeah, very, very close game. So, 57 Nerud, Emil Chesky 63. So, they needed to do that move in the last turn, that double move. All right, so now Emil moves on once again. So we are going to see next battle. All right, so V Nemesis Hun, 300 level player who tends to do very well in this Pantheoner tournament. So the next time we have one of these Pantheoner tournaments, watch out. V Nemesis Hun might be there. All right, so V Nemesis Hun going to take the Wood Reserve, and then Emil Chesky going to take the stone for the reason of they want to grab that Egyptian symbol. But they reveal a card. They put the Egyptian symbol close to their opponents. That's probably Isis. And Venus Hun now has 2 yellow. That's pretty useful. Getting all the yellow cards. It's a good way to play. All those yellow cards. And then, yeah, Milchesky going to grab the Greek symbol and put it close to their opponent. So, yeah, throw the bad Egyptian, throw the Greek symbols, gods close to the opponents. It's a good way to play. And then we see Venus Hassan building the Great Lighthouse. Okay, so that's sometimes players will do that. They'll build Great Lighthouse, spend a bunch of coins for it. How much did they spend? They spent 5 coins. It's not too bad, but now all their wonders are slightly cheaper. Well, 2 of them got slightly cheaper. Sphinx didn't matter. We're at 3 extra turns from VNM's Sun to 1 with Emil Chesky. It's a great thing about the Pantheoner expansion is the better players unfortunately have to make a tough call with the Divine Theater. They realize their power of the Divine Theater, but they also like extra turns. And they end up with less extra turns. It kind of balances the game out a bit. The good players end up playing moves that put themselves in a better situation short term, but long term they miss out on the extra turns. Short term though, they can use Divine Theater to steal an extra turn, and I think that's what's about to happen. Divine Theater just got built by Emil Chesky at the start of Age 2, using Ra to take Hanging Gardens away. And Hanging Gardens is only a 2 coin cost for Emil Chesky. That was a good choice. Hanging Gardens is a great wonder. Plus, if you have wood, it's a good one to get. As far as science, we're looking at 1 versus 1. It's the same symbol, actually. It's that little pottery cup. Emil Chesky gonna take the gate. Let's see what they get. If they do get, they're going to. I thought they were going to revive their own Divine Theater, but no, they said just straight to Ishtar. Just take Ishtar. All right, and then Nemesis Sun going to use Nisaba to copy a symbol so that they can get economy. Maybe they're thinking, hey, it looks like some of their wonders cost some coins. Yeah, at least 1 coin for all their wonders. So just by building your wonders, you're going to give me something. Yeah. Yep, so they've gotten 2 coins from the Hanging Gardens already from economy. See how many more coins that they're going to get as we play this game. Interesting. Emil Chesky taking. Did they just take that card for the yellow? Or why? Because they already have 2 gray. Taking the customs house costs 4 coins. Maybe they're thinking make the mausoleum slightly cheaper. Maybe they're just thinking that more yellow cards is good. And discarding 4 more times, it'll pay for itself. I don't know. I would have discarded it. Okay. Milchevsky's doing fine on coin. So it's not like it's like a legit, like you needed to discard right then. So fine move with customs house, sure. Nice to have 2 yellow cards. Too bad it cost you 4 coins. Better to spend 0 coins. Better just get negative. Spend negative 4 coins to get the yellow card like the tavern. Alright, V Nemesis Hun, tons of yellow cards, 2 science symbols. Milchevsky, 2 yellow cards, 5 science symbols. Wow, 5 science symbols going into the next stage, plus an extra turn with the Sanctuary. Here, I'll move my face. Get the Sanctuary. You're done for. V Nemesis Hun is over. So Nerud's battle, very close, very close. This is just, unfortunately for V Nemesis Hun, it's done. First turn, game over. Now we are at the final game. And I will stop recording and we will see who they ended up playing. You remember that Brandon from Cape Town who beat Tom Thumb Blues, who beat me? We're going to see the finals, Brandon from Cape Town versus Emil Chesky, in the next video.